I've been thoughtin' and boughtin' since I was a young little thing, okay?
Oh my god, it was the most intense thing that ever happened to me.
My life is a chaotic madness. Chaotic madness.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chaotic Madness. It's your girl, Sasha Raee, and today we have the beautiful Daddy's Rozay. Hi!
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. I'm so juiced. I love it when people get excited to want to hear me talk about a bunch of nothing, so...
I'm like, yes, that is me. Let's go.
So kind of tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you're from, because I don't even know like what country you're in, to be honest.
I know I'm like the one that's sneaking in there. So yes, I'm Daddy's Rozay. I also go by Rozay. I am a content creator. I've been creating content for about 4 years now. And I also used to be a burlesque performer. I've been in some type of sex work for like over 12 years, but content creation has been in the last 4. Yeah. What else about me? I'm from Toronto. So yes, I'm the Canadian. I am the Canadian in this big industry, and it's really fun to like get to be able to like interact and network with so many Americans.
Nice. Yeah, you grew up where Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, is from.
All seem to be from the weekend. Like
always. It's like Toronto is the place to go. Oh, that's so okay. I've always wanted to do burlesque dancing, so that's really cool that you have a background in that. Is that what transpired you into want to start doing like more Triple X content creation, or was that more of like it just happened?
So like I've always been like super sexual and like really into recording and always like that. And I remember like my first like dom like kind of sub relationship. My dominant was like, I feel like honestly like you'd be really good at like making content and camming, and I was all like, no, because I was always like a shy girl. I was very shy. I used to be like in between sporty and nerdy. So it was like I never had that confidence to believe that like I could do that stuff. So I was just like, no, like this is just cool for myself. And then like I went the regular route of like working hard. And it was just like I did burlesque and I felt that it was freeing, but I still was like, I don't think that I wanted like go into stripping or be an exotic dancer. I wasn't feeling like that was my route. Because again, I'm like, I don't know if I really can like interact with people. Like that's a special skill to be able to like hustle like that every day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was like, what is an in-between where I can have control, get to decide when I want to do things, and also like I also grew up in an area from being nerdy, of being online a lot. Like chat rooms, like that's where I started. That's how I always met people, through those chat rooms, like back in the day.
Were you on like what is it, Omega or Migo, whatever? Like it's like chat roulette. There we go. That's the OG one.
All of those things, and then like even just text chat rooms, like the old school stuff from when like MSN days, they had like the smaller little. Can't remember. I remember when my friends brought it up about like the kinky ones, and you're like, ASL, where are you at?
Yo, those used to be the funnest chat rooms.
That girl like on MySpace acting like she's 30 and I'm like freshly 19, like that girl. So I was like, hold on, like there's gotta be something. And that's when I noticed, like, I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna try like doing porn. Like, why not? Like, why not? Of course I had known what I was doing, and like doing it as we were doing as a couple at that point, and put a video on Pornhub. And then that's when I realized that people actually want like fetish things. People want role play, and that there is like a whole other world. I literally thought I was ignorant. I just thought like going into this industry, it was like gonna just be boy, girl, no script, just give the people what they want. That's what I thought when I was getting into it. And it's kind of like, no, like I've been able to go on this amazing journey. So it definitely, yeah.
That's actually really cool, because it's funny that you talk about like OG chat rooms, because yo, I feel like I was always a cam girl before I even knew what a cam girl was. And also, too, like, I don't condone this, and I feel like having all younger sisters is my, like, revenge. But I was a minor, like, in these chat rooms, acting like I was grown. Like, they'd be like, ASL, and I'd be like, oh, I'm 19, and I'm in, like, New York, and I'm female. And then I'd be like, send me pic.
And that's the thing is, I would be on like MSN, Skype back in the day, basically doing cam shows. And I was realizing, and it's the funny thing is, I'm like, I still don't really cam now. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Literally, we don't condone this, but I was doing, and that's the thing about it too. And it was good, like how you asked about getting into it. I always kind of felt like it, to sum it all up, that this was my destiny. It's kind of like,
Right.
I feel like I just
Baby steps.
I just knew I was going to go here. I tried the regular work like route. I tried going to school. I tried doing everything. And then I was just like, no, this is not where my skill set is. I need to be online. I
need the entertainment, but online though. Cause like, it's funny when you say about stripping too. Cause like, I have like a quote, like a stripper's body, quote unquote, like, and so I was like, you know what, why not capitalize off of it? Man, I did like one night. I was like, for one, it was like a really dark time in my life too, so I was like, I needed the money, like I was like in survival mode. Two, I didn't know anything about stripping, so I didn't know what was like a real tip out. I didn't know how you're supposed to collect the bag, you know, and they prey on
noobs, yeah,
19 fresh girls. So, and then it's the fact of like, I could dance on the stage, no problem. Give me the pole, let me dance. But
nice.
Talking to you face to face, sitting on your lap, like letting you touch me is the most repulsive thing ever.
I can perform. You want me to put 3 tracks? Let's go. Like I'll get into it, but then you mean I have to talk to them?
I'm sorry. What?
What do you mean?
Wait, you want to touch my leg? Please don't do that. Ew. Like,
and I'm like, I'm also tall too, so I'm like, I'm 5'10" already. So you're gonna have this like 7 black women. I know it's a fetish now, but like, you know what I mean?
right.
Toronto's not super diverse in the clubs and stuff like that. Like the diversity in that sense is not there. So like, I know the US is very different, but like here it's not that diverse. So I'm like to myself, how am I going to be 6'7"?
Right.
I have to approach these men. Voice, I was so, you want to dance? I know my place. I'm on the internet.
I'm so dead. Oh my god. Like, okay, let me phrase this. I don't hate men. That's not it. And I'm not repulsed by men either. Like, I love dick, like, but I also love pussy. But it's the fact of like, I get very uncomfortable if I don't know you and you're a man and you touch me. It's just something about it. I know it's like childhood trauma, like whatever, da 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 da. I get where it stems from. That's how I know I can never be a stripper. Like, don't touch me. And then it's like my facial expressions show you everything. Like, before I can even think of it. So if you touch me, my face is gonna let you know I'm repulsed before I can even try to like, oh baby. Online, man, you ain't gotta see my face half the time. I could be over here fucking bonnet on, sweatpants on, and be chatting. And we're like, oh yeah, babe. Oh man, I'm just exposing all my shit. People are gonna be like, bitch, are you in a bonnet right now?
We're gonna save this one. But it's like more like actual like texting and doing girlfriend experience stuff. And at first I was doing the whole like, you know, oh baby all the time. But then I'm like, no, you want girlfriend experience. So I'm gonna be real in that sense. But I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood anymore.
No, baby, no. It's that time of the month.
I'm like, you know what? Like, we're independent. Like, you know, the thing is, if we still have the control. And I'm like, as long as the bills are paid, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I'm not.
I love that the sense of the independency, because you literally can choose whatever you want to do. I used to be overtly sexy. Like, I thought I needed to be that sex kitten. Like, I'm talking about the fucking, like, Victoria's Secret with the garter lingerie. Like, bitch, you know where in real life you is not this sexy. Like, if you don't pipe your ass down.
I just got to that stage now where it's like, no.
Like, be you.
Be you.
Be true to who you are. I'm like
Amazon lingerie still working.
right.
When I came in the industry, I remember being like really depressed about not having like nice lingerie, and I was like, why does everyone have so much lingerie? And then it was like, and no one was like publicly really posting that they were buying it off of Amazon. You just start going on Amazon, then I say, see all these people. And I'm like, yeah, see? And that's things I'm like, I wish that was things that we talked about more openly. Like, you know, that you do not have to buy like I don't want to sue me. Like, you don't need to buy like the Honey Bridget. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
That like the Asian provocateur, whatever. Like, you don't need that. Like, that $20 set, if you get a set that fits your body and a color that looks good on you, everybody's happy.
Everybody is happy. I think that back in the day, like early 2010, 2012, it was a different time and age. No one was giving any advice. It was very cutthroat because it was also so new too, like new in the sense of like, oh, all these girls were young, we're the same age, we're trying to make money. It's competitive. Like, it's super, super competitive. Now it's saturated. So it's kind of like there's every bitch and their mama and their cousin literally got OnlyFans or stream in some way, some nature. So now we're more open to give out advice and free advice. Back in the day, it was like you had to pay a bitch to find out what type of camera she was using. Like, it was so cutthroat, and I'm glad that it's like changed now. But yeah, man, I had invested so much money as a broke bitch that money didn't even like come back. It was literally like, oh, I got some cute lingerie that I don't even fit anymore to this day because I done gained weight.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm sorry, continue. I don't want to cut you off.
No, go.
I feel like I'm in an in-between of that stage like you were when that was like no one was talking about it. And then I feel like I literally jumped in right before the pandemic started. So I got the in-between of when people started being more liberal with it. And then you now have like the flood of like you said, everyone and their mama doing it. And that's why I said to myself, like, every come up because I'm a broke bitch because I'm coming from the mud with this. Like,
yep.
Nothing. Like, started with a $20 ghetto ring light off of Amazon, and I will slide in here and say, we know Amazon is a bad company, but as independent creators and entrepreneurs, it saves our lives. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to support the companies to buy directly from them. I'm going to buy the damn thing on Amazon because I'm trying to survive and eat food. Okay? Like, that's not
Period.
So
that's 2 days shipping, baby. I'm sorry. I ordered today. It's here in a day and a half. Like,
custom, you get approached by anybody, a company, you gotta work. You order it from Amazon. Don't let no one guilt you on that.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is like, as I start getting more money, start getting more things, is I'm being very open about that I had nothing. And now when like I have even customers will come to me and they're like, oh, like you should do this or you need to have this. I'm like, you need to fund that. Like, you need to support me because I don't want to like invest that much. I do invest back into my business, but it's like, I'm not going to go buy $1,000 camera tomorrow because I'm not.
Because the next person has it. Yeah.
Because you have that. That's great that you do, but it's like, I'm not there yet. And if someone wants me to have that, you need to invest in me and you need to buy that. Otherwise, just wait. Like, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be the tortoise and I'm just going to take my time and build.
I think that's really smart that you're doing that too, because especially in 2022, it's very competitive. So you almost have to like have a whole studio and like a whole professional setup, just to try to be like on par, not even stand out, but just on par. But I think that with a lot of people that I tell, like, if you're getting into this and even if you do have a lot of money, you don't know if A, this is something you're going to want to continue doing for a long run. B, if financially, if you're going to see any type of investment within the first 6 months to a year. So it's like, it's a slow race. And a lot of people think it's like fast. I mean, okay, it is fast money to a degree, but it's not as fast as people think it is. It's still a business. So you still have to think about a business perspective, like ROI, return investments. Like, we're all business students that probably don't even have business degrees, a lot of us, but we run like we're Jeff Bezos, except we're just in porn and we are independent and we take care of ourselves. Like, it's still a legit business. I would say I'm always grateful for like the first few fans that I ever had, because they helped me buy like a lot of like Logitech like webcams. And two, I was in a very white dominated space when I started webcamming, and it was almost like I felt like I needed to like be better to stand out and to like be seen. And I had some fans that like understood societal issues and were like, let me help you out, baby girl. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. And it kind of just builds from there. And then also with like working with brands, like I always tell people, like 11 years of like hard work grinding from the mud, like
11 years. And that's the thing, was you talked about us being businesses. A lot of businesses don't quote me, I know we're all in different countries and states, so it's just a general statement, but it's like businesses, it usually takes about 3 years before you start profit. You know, and that's literally when I started seeing the profit. In my 3rd year, I was like, oh, I can eat, like, you know. But now I actually am like confident enough to be like, I'm a content creator. And that's the same thing too. For me, being a content creator, and that's why I'm straight up with my fans now. Because I'm like, you understand that like I am a Black woman doing this, and I'm like, my like white counterparts, like they don't have to do as much as I do. And
preach.
I'm doing so much. And I had to have that example with a fan the other day, because they made a suggestion. They're like, oh, you should film it on this angle and do all this stuff. I'm like, you have to understand, if I'm not able to achieve something, it means that I don't have the right tech stuff. I don't have the fuck machine. I don't have these things. And I'm like, it's kind of harsh on me to even say that, like, you know, to be like, oh, this could have been good if that was here, because I'm like, I watch, and this is no shit at no one, I love everybody, it's peace, but it's like I watch so many videos where it's one position on their back and it's a masterpiece, it's art, and I'm here doing so many different positions to give that POV the best that I can, while still shooting on a phone, I don't like seeing the bottom of dildos in my videos. That's my thing, because I want to still try to give it as POV as possible. So it's like exhausting, like being a Black woman in this industry, where it's like you always feel like you have to do more. Like, we have our hair did, or nails.
Yes, like, we can't come with like no makeup. Okay, pause. I got chills because it just feels so good to have another Black woman. And like, I have a lot of like Black women friends that are in the industry, but like, it just feels so good to like be heard and like understood and like recognized. Cause like, I try to explain this to my non-Black friends, and it's like, they hear me, but they don't hear me sometimes. And it's like very exhausting is like, I'm not even exhausted. I'm beyond exhausted. I don't even know what the word is for that. But like, so it is it's like just, I hate saying refreshing, but it is refreshing, because it's like.
Because like, I also feel that like, that's what I really wanted to talk to you. And I feel that when we're talking too, it's like, we're also not like being like, oh, we're so oppressed. Like, you know, like we're also not doing that.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
we're having a very real conversation that it's like, this is our reality, and it's not like we aren't investing in ourselves. Look at us, like, you know, look at us. But that's my point, is look how much effort we've put in ourselves, and look good, and we're just having a conversation. But that's it. We're just like, no, like, I want to look good, I want to feel good, and that's what Black women do. And it's like, I just feel like we should be put on a pedestal. It's like, do you think you need a pedestal? Yes.
I'm sorry, but Black women are the blueprint. I've said it publicly, and I'll keep saying it to the day I die.
I do want a pedestal. Hell
yeah, we deserve it.
All the Black all over the front pages make people uncomfortable.
Yes, like, and I feel like when I first got into this, it was literally like an accident. It's like, oh, I have a friend that does this, and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, they making money, and I was like, cool, and then I got into it, and then I maintained a full-time job for like years while I was doing it too. Like, I always say Hannah Montana, because I literally was like 2 different people, but it just got to a point where I was so discouraged because I didn't see anyone that ever looked like me on anything, and it's like, on the banners of like webcam sites, there's no black girls. There's no black male on like cam. I don't even know if cam 4 is still around, but like there was just no black people being represented. And it made me feel, I felt so ugly because I felt like my beauty wasn't accepted. Like I already have to deal with it outside in society, but like here in porn, you would think, oh, like there's somebody for everybody, which there is, but like racism is very much in porn as much as it is in mainstream society, but that's a whole nother thing. And then it was also like, I think for me, I made a turn in my just career where I realized that I didn't have that many black like entertainer friends, and they were mainly like Caucasian because I was like heavily in the webcam space, and I just knew a lot of white people. And it made me feel disgusting, and it made me feel like I was contradicting, like, oh, I'm all about black pride, but yet I don't have black friends. So I made an effort to put myself like back into my own space. And then I really was like, you know what? I'm going to use these fucking companies, and I'm going to open the door for as many black people as I possibly can. I'm not the biggest creator out there. I'm not the most famous creator out there. But whenever I have an opportunity, like I'm going to use, I think this is why I'm supposed to be in the adult industry, is not to like pop my pussy and like make millions off of it.
The biggest like celebrity.
Right.
You, and that's why I knew I liked you.
Oh.
I know I like emotional. And that's literally, I remember like seeing you like placing in the last like MV Awards. And I was like, it was like you in your category, it was me. And I saw so many black people.
Yes.
My heart. And that's the thing, is just like when these companies ask me about things, I'm like, I'm here to like break the glass ceiling. And I'm also putting my foot in that door, and I'm going to be at that table too. Like, just know, like I'm going to be sitting at that table. And that's something that I'm like, exactly, just like you. That's the thing. So I felt like, especially again, being Canadian. So I'm Canadian. There's
right.
that many black
people.
You even like change your navigation on many vids and you go Canada and black, there's 1,000 of us. That's it. And we're all separated. And like black creators here aren't as open because it's not as like accepted how like it is in the US. So right. I'm completely like isolated. If I have anyone as a creator friend, they're white. Like, you know, that was the thing for me. And then it was, I didn't want to compete. I didn't want to feel like, oh, like any type of jealousy. And that's where I'm just like, I've isolated myself. And I said, like, I have to focus on what my mission is. And I have to put myself out there. And I have to start like networking with people in another country. Like I have to find like people. I have to also talk to black people and be like, am I the only one that feels like this? Like, what can we do? And that's also why I couldn't cam, because I didn't like that there were no black people on there. And then the other thing that bothers me, and this is no attack to black creators that do get the spotlights a lot, but I felt like I wasn't seeing our body types. Like, and that what confuses me is because with like a lot of like my clients, when I'm doing girlfriend experience or I'm doing more personable things, they're always like, I really love your body and the way you look, because it always reminds me of like back in the 90s, early 2000s of watching BT and seeing black women and real black women and curvy bodies. And that was the most validating thing to hear. Someone not be like, you know, I want the black model that's skinny. Someone just being like, I want to see curves.
No,
you know,
100%.
And that was the first time to realize that I'm like, there is a market for us. And that's something I was told a lot here in Toronto, is that when I did want to strip too, they were like, there's no market for black women. I've constantly been told there's no market for black women that look like me because I'm not skinny, I'm petite, and I'm not light skinned.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't want to be the one to be like light skinned, but like, I'm so glad you said it, because colorism within the black community is already a huge problem. I don't know how it is in like Canada, but especially in like the States here, it's like very we're just rooted from a lot of our oppression that we have to learn as a black community to kind of let go of. But when you look at mainstream and you look like in the adult industry, you just look in general, anything that's like online or like entertainment wise, if you aren't light skinned or white passing or even like Latina passing or something that you could try to pass for a different race, like they didn't want you. I remember I had mainstream companies that wanted to book me, but they wanted to put me in shit that I wasn't going to be proud of today. They wanted to make me, and the titles and like, and I understand there's like everyone has their own lane. And for me, I knew that whatever I put on the internet was going to be there for life. I knew I had siblings, I have nephews, I have nieces. Like, if anybody came across my shit, I don't ever want to be embarrassed by like, oh, that was a time in my life where I was really struggling, and I wouldn't be like, yeah, that's me, Amber. Like, did you pay for it? Like, I want to be proud. But being dark skinned, even as a child, like, it always made me feel so ugly because I was always told being dark was ugly, and that I looked like a monkey, and that dark wasn't pretty, and my body on top of it being super curvaceous. Like, I wanted to be white so bad because I thought it would make my life so much easier. And I wanted to like be so skinny, and it was like, I've never actually really talked about it to this level, like, publicly before, but like, I was going through a identity crisis for the longest too. Like, it was just so upsetting, and it made me feel so bad because I felt like I truly hated myself. But I said, fuck all that after a few years. And I was like, if this industry isn't going to accept me for me, then fuck it. Like, I have a extensive corporate background. Like, I'm very educated and very smart. Fuck it. Like, if it doesn't work out, but I can't kill myself mentally trying to be someone that I'm not, and still won't be accepted any fucking ways. Like,
no, and I feel like you're starting to kind of like, we're starting to see the shift. Like, I love to like observe. Like, I'm just like taking my time and observing, because again, I told this company, like, I'm gonna be working for you. I'm working in your office. We're partnering. Like, we're just gonna like bully these companies and be like, congratulations, you have a diversity team now. Like, you're gonna find the money, and here we go. But like, that's the thing, because I had that too, and I remember for myself, I had an eating disorder because I always had ass. Even though I was skinny, I had ass, and I did not eat because I hated my ass. Because 90s asses was not a thing; it was titties. I had no boobs. So I hated the black body. But like, the thing, what you're starting to see is, I feel like companies are starting to see it because strip clubs are seeing it, where they only hired one type and it's dying. And this is where this might be controversial, but you know, people are saying, oh, you can tell there's a recession because the clubs are dead. Are we in a recession, or are people just tired of seeing the same thing? And if you look at reviews on strip clubs, at least for here, people are like, where are the black girls? Where are the dark skins? Where's this? Where's that? Like, you know, we're starting to see, like, even for sites, all these sites are slow right now.
Very slow.
Everyone's slow. And is it that, yes, we know it's a recession, but people still have money. People still have money to spend. People are going to spend money even if they go bankrupt. Like,
literally.
For this type of place where the gambling and sex, drugs and alcohol, people will find the money, always. So you have to think about, what's the issue. People are bored. People are bored with seeing that one type of thing and same thing. And you're going to see that transition. And I feel like, you know, like, that's it. We have to just embrace ourselves and embrace our blackness and force our ways through there. Like, we don't have to beg these companies. We don't need to. We're just going to show them, continuously show them that, like, this is what the people want.
Yeah.
This is what the people want. This is what the people want. The people want diversity. People want to see everything.
100%. And it is slowly shifting for sure. And I think it's because it's a lot of strong black people and people of color that have really been utilizing their voices and like fucking being like, no, like, you make all this money off of us. We deserve just as much same credibility as our white counterparts. Like, we're sick of it. Like, we're literally sick of it. And it has to do with a lot of people really standing up and really losing or turning down opportunities that could change their lives for the better of seeing progress for the future. And if I can do that in any small, minute way, I'm doing that. Like, there's some things that have happened because I have fucking used my voice, and I'm so happy about that, and I'm so proud about it. And I just can't wait to keep utilizing all the not even like utilizing, because I think when you have a relationship with someone that understands your vision and is on par with that, it becomes a relationship. and it becomes from the initial conversation of like, yo, what the fuck is going on, to like, hey, it's funny you did this because I wanted to do this. And it just becomes like now a conversation in the shift of things. And I'm excited to see where the industry is in the next 10 years, to see all the other Black boys, girls, theys, thems, and everything in between, like fucking living.
I just feel like I've also kind of like listened in when there's been spaces about a lot of like the girls that went into content creation through OnlyFans route, which, you know, it's like that. Again, I'm blessed that I got into a clip site before the whole OnlyFans thing, because again, a lot of people did play people, and like you're talking about the whole, you had to get someone to teach you things. So I feel like a lot of, especially Black women, we know that we're the most unprotected. Okay. We're the most unprotected. No one can argue that. Google it. So it kind of hurts me, like, you know, seeing a lot of like OnlyFans girls feeling that they have to work with men consistently to pop off and be good. And that's why I felt like the moment that I was able to start making a little bit of dinero, doesn't matter, that I know, okay, this is a thing that can happen for women that look like me, that you don't need another man. You don't need anybody else. You by yourself, believing in yourself, being playful. There's so many routes of how you can be a content creator without having to put yourself in scenarios, because there's a lot, there's all these blacklists, there's all these people that are harming Black women in our community, women in our community. And that's where my thing is. So that's, you know, when people talk about, well, oh, it doesn't matter about race. It's like, yes, I have to protect Black women.
100%.
Everybody, but I also don't know, I'm, you know, like, I don't identify as they, them, like, I am bisexual, but like, I still identify as a woman, and I'm also Black, and that's what I have to start the small section, a group, and that's why we all need unity, where we can have big alliances. But like, my focus is on making sure that Black women, especially, like, I come from child abuse and trauma, and I know that sometimes you have to get into this for outs and different things, and I just want them to know that, like, there's also different routes. And I don't think they know that, because they're always told, go on OnlyFans, and if you meet me and you come do this with me and I'm a producer, I'm going to put you on, and I'm going to do this, and all the talks. And then no one's checking in on their mental health. There's no mental health, because again, OnlyFans doesn't have also community.
Right.
At least the other clip sites have community, or even events and different things you can go to, and ways that you can know about other people and what they're doing as well. OnlyFans, you don't really know unless you subscribe to somebody, what they're really doing on there and how things work. You're literally isolated and by yourself.
100%.
And I platform is better for, like, if you are already established. Like, that's why I also didn't really use it. I felt like it's better for if you have fans to go there and give them like another stage of knowing you. Like, I just felt like starting there is a lot, because you gotta work and burn yourself out in order to gain that fan base.
Yeah, OnlyFans is definitely difficult. Like, if you weren't like a popular YouTuber, like IG model, or even just like a popular entertainer in general that created an OnlyFans, it's kind of like, how? Because there's no homepage, there's no way to find other models, like with clip sites or webcamming sites. Like, you just go through, you look at people's profiles, you can follow them. OnlyFans, you really couldn't do that. So it definitely is a harder, I guess, to say, to like make it on OnlyFans, but it just comes down to marketing as well too. I think if you market well and you hustle and you put in the work, it can be done. And just because something works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. I think that's something that some people need to understand and realize too, that not everything is going to work for everyone, and that's okay, because we're different.
Yeah,
like,
I just want Black women to have soft life. I'm just like, I don't want you. That's why I'm literally, when people are like, why are you doing taboo? And I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, the white girlies are eating up here. I'm going to do what I need to do. Okay? If that means I only got to film twice a month.
They do be eating,
yeah.
But I be watching the other girlies though. I be like, yo, some of my friends, they eat that category up. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, for me, I'm always, I thought about that a lot in the beginning, because I get like a lot of like requested for like mommy stuff. So like, I also do like daddy stuff. And for me, daddy stuff was just more of like a dominant. It's not really literally like that. It's like, that's also a lot of people don't understand. It's like, no, like, I'm a submissive, always was submissive.
Yeah.
So it comes from for me. But like, when I do taboo stuff like that, I'm like, I was like, oh my gosh, like everyone's gonna think I'm weird and all this different types of stuff. And now I'm like, no, allow it, because if someone ever says anything or it goes online, I'm like, congratulations, guess what? We're gonna go and we're gonna have a space and we're gonna talk about this, or we're gonna have a room about this. And for me, why I do it, and when I talk to people about it one-on-one when we're having a session, is it's more just a role play, as in we're people that also have been exposed to like porn really young, or like had access to the internet. So it's just literally like role playing legit. It's not like a Sigmund Freud situation, at least in my case and with what I'm doing. And I'm saying this is my statement. If anyone perceives it any other way, that's on you. But like for me, it's just literally like a role play has been like, you and your partner are bored and you're just like, let's be different people. And that's why I like to be different people. I like the role plays and the characters of the naughtiness and literally the taboo of it. But like, I have no actual desire there. Like I make sure things that I won't say in my videos to make sure that it's known that it's like, this is still, I'm still me. Like, this is not me trying to be your mother. Like you're, and make it fun. Like it'll be a little campy. Like, you know, that like, it's like a telenovela, like very playful.
Like, what are those, like Not Another Teen Movie? Like those, like,
me stoned out of my mind.
No, I think that's the beauty though of the industry, is that there's someone out there that is making what you're into and like what you're interested in, and I think that's why I feel like if you are true to yourself, like you'll see so much more progress. Like I would never get online without any makeup or my hair done. Like I literally would be done to the T.
Yeah.
The last like 3 years, I really was like, listen, in real life, I don't fucking wear makeup. Like I literally don't.
Yeah, so stay true to you.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all gonna get me. Like, and if you don't like it, then don't like it. Like, and then if I feel like putting on makeup, I'll put on makeup. But for the most part, like I've even worn my natural hair online. Like it was like, they were like, did this bitch, like, hold on. And I'm like, yeah, y'all thought I was bald headed? The fuck? No, baby, ain't nobody bald headed.
I'm like, they boo boo, we can do it too. We can do it.
Like, it's just a lot. Y'all see how thick it is, okay? It's just a lot to deal with on a daily. But, you know, for me, I'm just really lucky that my fan base kind of like accepted me for being like just truly true to myself. Like I'm more open about my mental health and my like depression and like the nerdiness. So like I have to emphasize, like it took me 11 years to get in this position, because if I would have started like this 11 years ago, I wouldn't be here right now. So that's a fact.
So that's the thing when I feel like that, and it's always like that conversation, like the rickety like slope of it. Like for me, I love makeup because I wasn't allowed to wear it when I was younger. Like I love playing dress up in that sense. Like I love feeling a little Barbie doll. Like that's for me what I love. So it's like when people want me natural, I'm like, leave me alone. Like
I feel you on that. Like
next month, I'm finally just doing lash extensions. So at least I'm like, fine. I'll feel like I at least have eyes that I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, I'll do head wrap and bonnet, but I'm like, stop bothering me. Like, I'm a makeup girl. Bothering me at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I want you. I like, stop it.
I love that though. Makeup is so fun. It's just that like I don't. Okay, I think it's because I'm getting older and I'm starting to like realize that what I did in my 20s, like destroying my skin with like makeup wipes and like wearing it all the time and not properly taking care of my skin. Like, you know, I'm black. I want that black don't crack to last my whole life. So I either learn to take care of my skin or I just stop wearing it. And I'm too fucking lazy to do a whole skincare routine. Like I don't want to do it. Like I'm lazy, and it became a crutch. Like I felt like I was ugly when I would take photos if I didn't have on makeup. So then I knew that was a problem, and I was like, no, you are a beautiful woman. You don't need makeup to be beautiful. You don't need to use filters. So I kind of like pick and choose.
That's my one thing. I will never use a filter that alters my face. I will never alter my face or my natural laugh lines in my bags in any of my photos either. That is my one thing I will never do. And when I wear makeup and I'm filming, you're going to see my spots after because I'm like getting crazy in videos. It's never a mask for me, and I could never do it, and it hurts me seeing people in our industry. So I'm like, people are gonna buy your videos, like they're gonna see a different person, and when you're on cam, it's a different person. Like we don't need to do that. But back to what we were talking about, like you said, like, you know, you had that progress over the years. I feel that it's not that people like have to like get attached to makeup or get like deep into it or how you look or your nails, but I feel like sometimes it does help your career in the beginning because 100%. It shows people not that they're like, oh, you would be better looking. It's kind of like the people that want to invest in you see that you're actually investing in yourself and you actually care because they're very smart people. It's like, it's always hard to like have this conversation without being like, you gotta like level yourself up, but you do.
You do. It's 100% true.
Every time you're on cam, every time you film something, every time you're talking to a client, it can be an interview. You never know who's on the other end.
I tell people that all the fucking time.
No, so like you have to show that you're a boss. Like you have to show that no, if you talk to me more and you buy this or you stay on cam with me, guess what? Like from now on I could do my toes. I started with like stummy little like bad, like tiny bite, nasty nails. No nail polish.
I'm dead. She said stubby little nubby because
I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, you're buying this and you're still here? Like, you're still here? Bad nails, couldn't paint my nails, and they're still shitty. But I was like, it started. I noticed I was selling more videos just with having nail polish on my shitty nails, and then I was like, what would happen if I do my nails? And I did them really short at first, but gotten like nails, and then the boom, everything was like a boom. When I was like, okay, I'll get pedicures, fine, like just those little things. But I'm like, yeah. I was also like, I'm not rushing and doing everything. Like, I'm still not at that point where I'm not spending $1,000 on a wig or weave. I'm not there.
I still fucking don't. I'm sorry. My obsession is too large to be spending $1,000 per wig. I'm sorry, baby. What?
Kiss my black ass on that one. Kiss my black ass.
I'm sorry. I ain't Cardi B, okay? I don't got billions.
Good for you and your bundles. Like, I'm not going there. Not going there unless there is a weave daddy or bundle daddy that comes in.
Right. And then even then, if you want to send me $2,500 for a wig, I'm gonna spend that on something else, something better, okay?
I got money. I'm like, literally, I had Ultra Daddy was like, oh, do you want a bag? And I was like, give me the damn money so I can get myself a laptop. Like, I got a MacBook. Like, don't.
Right. Like, for real.
A course bag and I'm good. That's fine. That's enough. Give me the damn money so I can get things.
To be honest, I get like 99% of my wigs from Amazon, and when I tell people that, they're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking do. And they're synthetic. Like,
love me synthetic.
I love a good synthetic, baby. Like,
tangled in a day, and I'm like, see, stop playing with me because I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed.
No, like, and my synthetic stem babies be looking good. Like, I like I said, it's just too much of an obsession that I literally could not. And two, I wouldn't want to spend $1,500. It's just like with like designer shoes and designer bags. Like, I don't own them because I cannot imagine myself spending that much money on a bag or a pair of shoes. But I can go spend $5,000 on like tech, like that. I'll spend.
Yeah,
like
invest in me, give me the money. I'm never gonna. And that's also something that's hard too as a Black creator as well. Is explaining that too, where it's like, like you have such a culture where people do see the ones that are wearing the like $1,500 lace fronts, like they're getting their bodies done, they have everything, and then like that kind of also like I don't know how to word it, but it's like it sets kind of a standard of what people think like we're supposed to all look like or be like.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want that. Like, I like you. I want the money for tech. Like, I like who I am. Like, you know, I want the money for my stuff. It doesn't mean because you don't see me like as like that like bad bitch that I don't deserve the money. Like, I do. Like,
Or that I couldn't afford it either too. Like if I wanted a Chanel bag, I could have bought a Chanel bag by now. I just choose not to. Like I'd rather spend $500 to go to a fucking festival than to go buy a Chanel bag. Like
I need a vacation. I need to like leave the internet for 5 days. I need one now. I deserve it. That's where I'm going. Like, I want to move. Like, that's where my next goal is. Like, you know, every time like I'm talking to somebody, like, oh, well, why don't you get this or do that? And I'm like, I want to move. I don't want the bag.
My priorities are just different.
I don't want the bag. Condo.
Right. I feel you. Like, trust me, I get it. Like, I deprived myself of so many festivals so that way I could buy a house and fucking buy a house. So, like, thank you so much. Thank you. It's so weird though because like when like you're so used to living in an apartment, you have like a landlord. And I've never lived in a house. Like my whole entire life, it was always apartments. So it's like, you know what? I have to reel myself in because I'd be like, if I want to, I could bust out that whole wall. Can't nobody tell me I can't do it. I own this bitch. Like I'd be like, you know, but then it comes down to like maintenance. It's like, let me call myself. Like I own this bitch.
That's why, like, I want to start buying a condo so there's still, like, somebody around, because that's my thing is, it's like, yeah, the house is, like...
scary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's lonely, it's scary, it's, like, and I say scary because you don't... Okay, when you're in an apartment, you usually have, like, someone across from you, someone next to you, and someone above or below. And there's 1,000 other people at all times moving and going. So you always know. And a house, it's quiet.
It's just, and then houses make noises at night.
Yo, my house is fucking... I swear that there were some spirits. They were children. And they were fucking with me for the longest.
I see things too. That's also why I could not live in a house by myself.
Yo, and then my dogs, like, when they they be asleep, and then they just pop their head up and they just lock in. I'd be like, yo.
Don't play. Don't look at nothing. Talk to nothing.
And then the scariest part is that my attic is literally, like, right next to my master bedroom. So I'm like, no. So I check that motherfucking, like, I look up at it every second that I walk by to see if it's, like, been moved or anything. Like, and it's an older house. So, like, so I know that there's been some shit that has happened.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt. I'm like, I'm totally scared of, like, I want a house eventually. Like, I want a house, but I'm like, I feel like I'm so scared. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle it. That's why I'm like, I grew up in apartments too. And like, I'm like, it's more comforting for me. It's so much more comforting. I don't mind like having a property to go to, like on weekends, like a cottage or something. But like, I don't know if I could permanently do, I'm a scaredy cat. Like, I have to have lights on 24/7 and then my bill would be crazy. He's interrupting you. And that's exactly why I'm trying to move, because it's now affecting my work and it's stressing me trying to work on odd hours and schedules.
Yes.
It's exhausting. Inspiring. And that's amazing that you've been able to get yourself a home. And that's the biggest thing of it. And that's, again, why, excuse me, like, I want to be in these spaces and like you as well. And like, I hope I can work with you on more things and we can stay in touch, because like, you are in a higher position. You've been doing this longer, and all of us can share knowledge. And that's the thing is, it's like, don't be chasing the bags. Don't be chasing the things that are temporary. For me, like, I even started saving a little extra cash and also have money saved. I was able to build my credit in 2 years. It's like, focus on, thank you. Take care of yourself for when you're older. Like, I think a lot of this with this industry too is because you're being gassed the fuck up all the time. You know what I mean? And it right now, like, you're like, I'm powerful, I'm gonna be young forever. Like, big move. The money's big, so it's going to keep coming. It's like, you never know this industry. And we also rely on men like keeping us as their muse. And that shit
100%.
rotates. They can tell you whatever they want to tell you, that they're going to be there forever to support your whole journey. And
and be gone the next fucking day. Period. Like, motherfuckers, like, no, for real. Like, it's true though. You gotta like set yourself up, and I feel like I have a really good support system that doesn't allow me to make some of those mistakes that I feel like I would have made if I kind of was like by myself. Because, you know, growing up poor, and I mean, like, I was poor. Like, we were constantly evicted from apartments. We kept moving around. We lived in the ghetto. Like, I had lived with roaches. My mom was on welfare. Like, she was a single parent. Like, I mean, I grew up in the fucking, like, trenches. So, to, like, have the option of being like, do I want to eat Chick-fil-A today? Or do I want to go, I don't know, let's say, like, Ruth's Chris or something, even though I don't go there. But, like, you know, having options, it's like, I'm in a position where I don't have to like eat top, even though a bitch still stay with top ramen in her motherfucking cabinets. Like, you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl, okay? But it's just like having what seemed like a lot of money at that young of an age, which really wasn't a lot of money. Like having like $200, $300 in my account seemed like so much fucking money. It
but that's
really
how it starts, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. You start off slow.
All in when I started with the 200 and the account to not see only $30 anymore.
Right. To like pay your bills and still have a little bit of money left over. Like, what'd I do that at? Like, it was just. And granted, too, I was so broke as shit when I first started. So I don't want it to sound like, oh, a bitch went from like $5 to like $1 million. Nah, bitch was still struggling. I still had to check the bank account before I would buy anything, like struggling still. But it was like the progression. And I think that's why I try to emphasize it's like my progression from where I was to where I am now is tremendously different. Like if I wanted to get food stamps, I literally, according to the state, make too much money. Like, even I'll be like, bitch, a bitch is so broke. Like, I'm broke out here, okay? Like, what you mean I can't get no food? Like, I want food stamps. Please, groceries is expensive. But, like, they be like, no, you don't qualify. And it's like, to be in a position to be told that you don't qualify is, like, in itself, I guess, I don't want to say an accomplishment because that makes it sound like being on welfare is bad. But it's like a growth. It's like I'm growing and I'm actually achieving the things that I never thought were attainable.
Accomplishment. And that's, again, the things with the conversations with people is it's like we need to be gentle with each other and know that it's not saying that being on anything, because I had my mom was on like welfare points. And when I was working as a teen, I had to like pay my mom rent. So like I wasn't able to save because they're like, no, you're working, you're making money.
Black household.
Yeah, like, you know, so it's like I'm the same way too. So that's how I speak, and it's your personal experience, and that is an achievement for yourself. That's a huge achievement because we're also breaking like generational curses. And in our own way, and we also deserve love and respect for that, because that's huge as Black women. Just because we are in this industry and you know you're starting to be able to focus more on what you want and are like less naked online. I'm nowhere close, but I'm still actually not naked as much online. Like I'm doing a lot more texting, so like I'm not naked. Like I'm chilling out.
I probably should get naked though. I might be like, hey y'all, we're gonna do a nude show. Baby need a bag, okay?
Like that accomplishment in doing those different things and that money, and it's like now I got the thousands starting to show. Like it was like the hundreds were nice. Like you know, now seeing the comma, I'm like, woo-hoo, what is that?
A comma for real though. Seeing a fucking comma in the bank account.
Be real about that, and I'm not going to be someone that's like, oh, there's commas. I'm not commas yet, but there's a comma, and I'm happy to see that my coochie put the comma.
Coochie, sweat, and hard work.
I did that from nothing, from like starting and making $50 like the first month and being like, oh.
Or Or like sometimes you don't, and I think too, like what I want people, like people that ask me like, oh, how do I get into the industry and like how do you make money? I tell them that like sometimes I can go like a few months not making a fucking dime, like not a penny, and then next month it's like I'm making quadruple. Like it's so inconsistent for, I'm gonna say for me, because like I'm not in a position where like I'm making 30K, 40K consistently a month. Like I fucking wish, because then I could maybe like slow down on a few things. But it's also, it just depends too. Like I'm shifting from being necessarily like the live streamer and kind of more like admin and like campaign work and like kind of like slowly, like I love being on camera, but I'm also, I feel like I'm like just kind of slowly shifting over to like helping other sex workers with like that run their businesses, and then getting into like production design and like stuff like that, because it's like another thing that super interests me. And it's like there's only so many days in a week and so many hours, and I'm not necessarily being like the online. I love talking. I love doing more panels. I love, you know, it's kind of like just picking and choosing and learning how to navigate where you go with your career. And I'm really also trying to make sure that I can open as many doors and conversations, and like be like, come on, bitch, like get in this motherfucker before they close it. Like, come on, like let's all hop on in, type of thing. So I don't know. It's like really weird.
Like that's what I started doing. When the pandemic hit, I started working with like sex work nonprofits and like started doing panels, and I also did like a TV show with a panel with that, and that's where I realized I was like, I like advocacy. Like, you know, like I love advocating for this. I love being real about it. Like I'm very real about what I do. I meet anyone, anywhere. I could be at a very nice place and I'm be like, I'm a hoe. Like, you know, I'm like,
Hey, but
you know, because I feel like even when I'm at parties doing different things, that people are like, what are you going to tell people what you do? And I'm like, I'm going to keep it real, because I also feel like I have an obligation to like not hide. I have that privilege where I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to hide, because I also want people to actually meet us in real life. You know,
you know, humanize us, like
especially being like a camera porn girl. A lot of women that are like civilians or regular women, they have this assumption about us because they feel that, like, you know, we're trying to take their partners or all these different things. They have this like bad.
I want your man.
I don't want your man.
I want your money. Like, yeah, I'm taking money from you, sure. But trust me, I don't want him. I do not want to fuck him.
Like once I do that and I have these conversations, these women are all like, this is empowering. You're actually very empowering. And I'm like, yeah, like, you know, so I'm on the same page too, where it's like, I'm 30 and I'm just like, what else can I do within this? And that's where I'm like, I want to advocate. I want to like also produce, direct. Also with some of these studios, they need better writers. Like I want to be like applying for like writing jobs for scripts. Like, you know, like there's so much different things you can do. Like you don't have to just stay in front of the camera, and that's wrong. I don't want that stress forever. Like I don't always be filming. I kind of like only more filming for like clients that have been with me for a long time versus then always just trying to be for the public. That's something with me that I'm very like, I like to have like my bubble and I like my smaller group. Like I don't want a big fan base. I do not. Like when my like followers go up, I'm like, no, like, who are these people?
Like, unfollow me.
You know, like I like to I like, even if it like changes, still like to have like a steady amount of like a circle. I like having a little circle and just being able to do more things where I'm able to like give people what they need as far as their fantasies and like help people also feel comfortable. Cause I also do feel that like men don't get to be open about their sexuality often, or they can't also talk about their kinks as much as like women can, you know, without feeling weird. And men go through a lot of things that they don't talk about.
A lot.
A lot. Just sitting here as like the sex worker, also like noting it. I'm like, this can also be booked later. But that's the thing, is like there's so much repression that men deal with, and then they worry if they're like into like any type of butt play. They're like, their homies will be like, you're gay, you're
gay, bro.
Yeah. So I'm like, I kind of like being one-on-one with those people and like helping them relax and being like, you know, like there's different things that you can do.
Yeah. Don't let society dictate how you feel or think about certain things, which is very hard. Like I used to like, oh, whatever, men just have it so fucking easy, like da 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 da, which to a degree, let's keep it real, they do. But there's also a lot of like like sexual assault that doesn't get reported because they are embarrassed or they're afraid that they might be labeled as like gay, that they wanted it because like you're a man. Like, how are you gonna let someone sexually assault you? Like, you're a man. It's like, no, that can happen to anyone. There's no gender fucking specific roles for something like that. And men are also very groomed too. Like, I was talking to someone and they were telling me when they were like a minor that they were going out with like older women, like in their 30s, and they were like 14, and they're like, yeah, man, like I bagged an older bitch, like I was a fucking man. And I'm like, you do understand that's assault? Like,
they have parents, if their parents or dads felt that they were still a virgin, they would hire like sex workers to take
yes, that's not like intro to manhood and like, yeah, this is that's wrong. And it took like some men that have like told them like, you know, do you understand like what happened? And then they realized, they're like, oh shit, like you're right. And it's like, yeah, buddy, like that, like if it was a woman telling you this, wouldn't that be your first thought? It'd be like, yeah, 100%. And I'm like, so because you're a man, you think you're excused? And it's like a whole thing that I never, obviously, because I'm not a man, to really understand it. But speaking with more men about it, I understand why it doesn't get noted publicly. It's just like how a lot of women don't necessarily go to the police when they're assaulted, because it's like, what's the fucking point when nothing's gonna happen? You're gonna give me a kit, I'm gonna go through all of this shit, go through court just to look him in the eyes and him smile because he got off scot-free. Like, why? I get why men don't do that
like,
too.
For you to even say it, someone's gonna be like, so you couldn't fight him, you couldn't do this. And like, it's so that's for me personally also why like I don't, like, a lot of people are like, I want you to dominate, I want you to do this, I want you to humiliate me. I personally cannot like humiliate men that I don't know, like their mental health, because I worry about a lot about how I am affecting someone's mental health. I don't care if that means that I could have been a millionaire, cool. I could be making a lot more money right now if I did do a dominate, because I get that I have that energy, but I can't bully strangers online when I don't know where you're mentally sitting. I'm not going to force you to be bi. I'm going to tell you, if you're interested in sucking dick, we can talk about that. Like, we can have a real talk, but I can't do it. I'm not going to call you the F word. I'm not going to do that stuff. That makes me very uncomfortable. That's like, that and race play are like my hard limit. Like,
Oh my God, race play. Oh my God. I would literally be like a millionaire. Like, I would have multiple commas in my bank account if I did race play, but I can't.
This is not a thing in Canada. This is not a thing.
Oh, it's a huge fucking thing.
This is not a thing in Canada. I didn't know what that was until I started this, and then people were like, race. I remember some guy was like, the most craziest thing, just random conversation. The guy's like, I want you to call me Master. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
I like, felt it that way too. And I was like, number one, I'm not even Southern. And number two, fuck it up. I was like, you know when something's so racist?
Like, yes, but it's fucking hilarious. Like, you just can't, you bust out in tears because you're laughing so fucking hard. Dude, like, I had one guy, I won't say what webcam site it was, but the abbreviation of it is 3 letters, if you can figure it out. And this was like back in like 2012, like 13, like early. Yeah. And this white man, I knew, like, because there was a time where you could see, like, how many points a member had represent, like, how much money he was spending on the site. Yeah. So I knew.
I knew
he was spending some money. And he would, like, do, like, a little bomb here to, like, get my attention. And then we would start, like, messaging. And the amount of money he always would offer me, like, a broke bitch was like, shit, man, that's a lot of fucking money. But then my heart and my conscience was like, no amount of dollar is ever fucking worth selling your soul. Like, I literally felt like I was going to sell my soul if I would have accepted that. And he kept fucking trying. And every time he would come back to me, the money just kept increasing. Like, and it became a little bit more like enticing because them zeros started to get a couple commas.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all I gotta do is this, is in the, and then I'm like, my ancestors would come out the motherfucking grave and they would beat my ass.
I don't blame my ancestors. I'm like, I don't judge anyone that does it if you do, because I know they're paying well. Like, they
Of course, they paying.
They pay me well just to like even put black in the sentence because I cuss them out. I'm like, you're gonna. I mean, cuss you out, but they put a lot of money into just adding black, and I'm like, fine, because I'm like, I am black, I'm beautiful, it's fine. But beyond that, but like, I just don't know. Like, I'm just like, my ancestors would literally be
like they would come out the motherfucking grave and beat the shit out of me. Hey man, hold on. I know this bitch did not agree to it. Allow him to call her that. She responded this way, and she wearing this? Oh hell no! Let me go get this bitch.
I'm into degradation, humiliation, but that one, I do.
No.
You can call me almost anything else. I'm like, you really mean that?
Right,
like,
of all things. Like, that's what you want to call me?
You can use the C word, but you mean that?
Like, bro.
Compromise on the C word. It's like, why we got it?
I'm like, and it'd be so many white men that will like fucking want it so bad, and like they would pay, but I knew if I would have ever did that, and I looked back at that to this day, like I'd be disgusted with myself. Like I would be so ashamed. I would be like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, no. And I was like, I'd rather live with these roaches and fucking have $2 in my account than do that. Like, it's not for me. Like, fuck it. Like,
I have to hear about it too, because like people don't think about it too. Like once you're done
right.
Like, and stuff, who's taking care of like my mental health after that?
Right.
Like, if I have like a rough session already, I'm like tired and mentally like I'm gonna just chill the next 2 days. Like I did that dirtiness, I'm gonna take a bath and like not think about it and order fucking sushi to like make me feel. But there's no amount of sushi or anything in this world that can like let me, especially like again being dark skinned and having people like make fun of you for your
right. That's straight up humiliation.
And it's like, I'm very prideful as someone that's Jamaican Canadian, very prideful on my heritage. So it's the biggest disrespect and slap to like have any record of me ever allowing someone to say that. Like,
for real.
Even as a sub, I'm like not comfortable with everyone using the term "be my slave." It depends on who I'm talking to. Like it's not the same, but I'm still like,
it's still an
If you're putting chains on, you can't use that word then. You gotta pick. You gotta be slave.
No, see?
It can't be slave and chains.
Literally, I thought it was just fucking me that always saw like that. I'm like, if you're gonna like tie me up, like you're not calling me like, no, call me a slut, call me a whore, call me a dirty little bitch. You can call me the dirtiest little cum bucket. Like you could degrade the fuck out of me, but there's hard limits. Like, I'm sorry.
That, and I will never ever say that my coochie's not the best. Like, there's no. I swear, I was in the best session. This guy was dropping money, and he's like, you're never gonna be enough. And he's like, I'm gonna get another slut, and she's gonna like, you're gonna see that her pussy's better. I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, say that she has better pussy. I'm like, no.
Fuck no. This pussy's the best.
I can graze you and say like I spit on you and step on you, but you won't say that your pussy's not great. I'm like, exactly.
You can be like, I'm gonna shit out of your mouth. You're like, okay.
Probably that was. I think that would be our limit to yes, exactly. I'd be like, go ahead. I'm a little. Let's go. We're not bringing my coochie into this battle. She has nothing to do with it.
I am so dead. Like, you can shit in my mouth, but I'm not going to tell you that this coochie isn't better than somebody else.
This is what I don't care, because all the fantasy of me and my personality that people can see online is like they're going to find out. They're like, no, shh.
I'm so dead. I can't. Like, I'm
gonna be the worst campers. I just be like arguing with everybody in the conversations about limitations and just I'd be difficult. I'm
so mean to people, like, and not purposely. It's just like, if I'm having a conversation and then you keep like, and I'm reading and I'm ignoring whatever the fuck you're saying and you keep saying it, or you like demand me to do something without even fucking tipping, I go from like super like, wait, where's my controller? Let me demonstrate.
Please. So now I know this morning, maybe I can count that.
So I'll be playing video games or whatever, like, da, 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 and then like I'll look over, okay, roll my eyes, da, 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 and I'm like, oh yeah, how's everyone? Da, da, da. And then I'm like, and then I'll just go. How dare you fucking demand me to do something when you clearly see that I'm busy, and then you don't have the audacity to even send me a tip? What the fuck do you think I am, a robot or something? Oh, and now you want to get mad? Shut the fuck up, you little bitch! Like, and I'll go off, and then I'm like, you know, I'm gonna block your dumb ass. Now you can never see me again, you stupid little bitch. And then I'll just go. And then I'm like, so sorry, guys. He took me out of character. And then I'll
figure it out because I'm like, how do I go back from that?
Like, it'll literally go from 0 to 100 real fucking quick.
I'm like, I have this really like cutesy, sweet image, and I'm like, they're gonna be like, oh, she's ratchet.
Like, wow, she went from cute to ratchet real quick. You're like, don't fucking push me, like, dude.
All the time, I block. I'm not like, you are not disturbing my peace. Do not come out.
Like, I be going in. I just be like, fuck.
Like 2 cam rooms, and they're remembering everything. They're giving everyone the attention. Everyone has I'm like, I don't have that skill set. I don't have that skill set. I do not have it.
I mean, I feel like you could. You're so like personal and like really fun to talk to, but like I think it depends on what you do. Like OG camming, when it was just like me and like my body and like, oh my god, you guys, like, haha, like let's dance. Like after a while, I would be like, bro, like this is boring. Like y'all motherfuckers aren't talking, or like you guys aren't tipping.
Can't do the one.
And I gotta be entertained, and I would just start having legit. I'm gonna sound crazy. I would have conversations to myself, but make it seem like I'm talking to fans, and I would like talk, and then I would respond to myself. And I would do that for like a good 20 minutes because you always have to be active. Like you always have to be like, you can't just be still. So I would have legit conversations with myself like I'm crazy. And then I started gaming, and I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, now I have something that can keep me entertained, like, all the time. Yeah. But y'all are going to see a fucking rager, because I rage when I game.
Yeah, I'm selfish. Like, when I do, like, calls, people are like, do you do silent calls? And I'm like, no. I also want a nut, too. And I want to hear you, too. Like, I don't care. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm not just going to sit here on this phone and just be talking to myself. I'm like, you're going to talk, too. You're going to participate. We doing this. I feed off of it. I'm putting you to work. Oh, you paying me? I'm sorry, you're also I'm the queen of like flipping a conversation, being like, did you need a nut? Well, I do too now. So
I'm so naturally. This is a participation, okay? Like the fuck you thought.
He's gonna come here for service? No. That's not my customer service.
No.
That's not my customer service at all. I'm not work.
My customer service is just so like, I don't know, it's all over the place. It just depends on, I think, because like online you can literally be however you want to be, so like I don't care about trying to please you as much as if it was like real life. Like when I was in corporate and I used to talk to people, oh my god, like
I was a people pleaser too.
Wait, hold on, let me do my let me code switch. I'd be like I'm trying. Let me see. Let me think of a company name. Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Minivis. This is Sasha speaking. How may I help you today? Oh, I'd be more than happy to assist you with that inquiry. Let's take a look here. You're saying that you're not able to purchase this video from this model? Are you using the correct card number? Did you check the CVV? Are you sure? Correct zip code? Okay, listen now, sir. I know that you're having a hard time and your transaction is not going through. But please do not yell or curse at me or I will have to disconnect the call. Now, if I'm online, I'll be like, listen, I don't fucking know why your card's not working and you can't buy it from me, okay? Either you just figure it the fuck out or, like, cash at me and I'll send it to you. Like, it's like two different bitches now.
Yeah, I worked customer service for so long, so I love it. It's like talking to companies. When I'm talking to companies, I'm so, like, polite and sweet, or, like, the ones that are, like, dropping all the money, fine. I'm going to give you that experience.
I'll give you the little high pitch voice.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you want?
It goes from high pitch to low pitch real fucking quick.
I had a guy tell me that he was like, you're a walking contradiction.
Yo. I'm about to make that my fucking Twitter bio. You're walking up.
For like 3 days, I was like,
Because that is so facts. Like, bro.
But then I was like, oh. Jesus. Oh my god, I am. I'm like, I am. It's fine. It's fine. It's just like, who's a personality taking over 10? It's also just a reminder. I'm not with the bullshit. We're also 30 too. I feel like that's a thing too. When you're older in the industry, it's like, I feel like I don't have to also just be really sweet.
No, 100%.
You know, like I felt like when I was younger, I was very like, I'm soft, I'm young, I'm playful. Like, you know, I wanted the attention more in that sense, at least for myself. I wanted attention. I was always going to be a good girl to make sure that I could get the attention. But now I'm like the 30-year-old old bitch in the scene.
Right. I feel like I don't give a fuck.
You're going to hear what I have to say. I don't give a fuck. Go try that. Go try that someone 10 years younger. Go away.
Right. Go. Oh my God. That's how I know I'm getting old.
I paid my dues now. Like, my knees starting to hurt. I paid my dues.
Yo, not the knees. The knees is killing me. Dude. I was just telling someone the other day because I have a torn meniscus in my left knee and I got it like 2014, 2015, like years ago. And they were like, we can either do the surgery or we can pay you a settlement. Of course I took the fucking money. Like I was young. Like I was like, oh, like fuck it. Fuck the future. Like to give you the money, give you the bag. Okay. It was a good settlement. Bitch, I was like, the other day, I was like, damn, I should have probably got that surgery because, like, the older I get, like, my knee is really fucking with me. Like, I might need a cane in like, next 5-10 years or something. Like, it's so bad. I'm like, I am literally old.
We use a cane just when I even feel like I'm bounced because it's worse to not use a cane because then, like, you're older, it just gets bad for you. I don't give a damn. I'm rock the cane if I need to use the cane.
Bedazzle that bitch.
I'm not mashing out my body for nobody, but then also you probably would qualify. I'm like, why can't we do knee surgery younger? I don't like that you have to wait so old for knee surgery. I feel like you should be able to get it younger so your knee's just good. Why do I have to go through suffering and like old like athletic knees until I'm like 70? Then you're like, knees, now that you can't really do anything.
It was my fault. I saw the money and I took the money instead of my health.
I took the money.
I took the money. Like,
how bad could that be?
I literally was like, oh, I'm sure my knee will be fucking fine. Like, that's like 30 seemed like 40 years away. And like, it came so fucking fast. And I'm like, damn, hold on. Hold on. How we get here so fast?
How the hell am I a MILF now? Apparently important. What do you mean? Where am I, mommy?
No, for real. Like,
I'm a teen. What do you mean? Excuse me?
Like I'm old enough to be somebody's mom? What?
I can't process that. Mature where? What do you mean?
A bitch can barely take care of herself. Like, what?
I'm not your mommy. I can't take care of myself.
Listen, I barely keep my dogs alive. Like, what makes you think I should have a baby?
Just learn how to take care of plants, okay? Like, they've been good for a few years, and I got 4 of them, and they just hanging on, and I'm working on it.
I'm proud of you, because I'm not mature enough for real plants yet, so I'm so proud. I got fake plants in my house, okay? And they will stay fake.
I was like, I like plants, so I'm like, okay, yo, like the family line of plants. I gotta do better. I lost one succulent, replaced that, so it's back now. But
You better than me. I forget to feed myself. So how am I gonna feed a plant that can't at least talk? At least my dogs, like, they'll let me know, like, bitch, I'm hungry. Hello. I'm like, oh, mama didn't feed you? I'm so sorry. Come here, baby. Let me feed you real quick.
that's just temperamental. And then some of them don't want top water. They need this water at this temperature.
Bougie. See? No.
Around. They're a lot. They're a lot. I'm talking like low maintenance plants are like all I got.
Not for me. Them bitches will die the next day. I'll forget all about it. I'll be like, wait a second. How long has it been since I watered you? Shit, let me just extra up and kill it by accident. Like, no.
That's why like cacti are like really good because they're pretty like strong.
But
You
don't they
can't-
need a lot of sun?
Not really. Just enough. Yeah, no, not a lot. Like that's where I started like 2 little ones and they're like getting pretty big. Yeah, they're very low maintenance because you do not have to water them often. So it's literally when you remember, be like, here's a little splash. Like, you know, so you're not like, did I over? Yeah. Try one
Chaotic
cacti. I would say
Madness
that's
with
a cute
Daddy's
little
Rozay.
one. Start there. And then from there you can build up. That and succulents are like pretty low
If I
maintenance.
can keep a cacti alive, then I might be making it into adulthood. Okay,
Right?
okay.
That's how I felt. I'm like, good for me. Good 30 years old. I can keep a plant alive.